Now, one of the questions that people keep asking me is Anthony Albanese a left-wing socialist? Well, on Sky News, they just tell me he's a left-wing socialist. But he's actually not, and there are three big reasons, three big clues as to why. Even when Anthony Albanese was the head of the socialist left faction of the ALP, he wasn't really a socialist back then either. Albo was always more of a fixer. He was a guy who got deals done so that the party machine could move on. He would be the ones who knock people's head together and say, right, you're going to go out and say this, you're going to go and say this, the vote's going to go like this, and that's what's going to happen. Or you're going to get this seat, you're going to get that seat, and everyone's going to be happy. He was a deal maker. He was a fixer.
I'm a fixer.
The second big thing in Anthony Albanese's move from the left to the right of the Labor Party and to the centre of Australian politics was how he actually came to the leadership himself. Bill Shorten is, of course, a leading figure of the Victorian right. And, of course, he ran against Anthony Albanese. Now, the funny thing that happened was that as politics seemed to be heading towards the progressive left, Bill Shorten and Labor underneath him started to sound like it was pretty left-wing. There was sort of class war rhetoric, talk about the top end of town. Anthony Albanese, on the other hand, saw a bit of an opportunity here, and he started sending out signals that he was more business friendly, that he was less obsessed with the sort of class war rhetoric. And that is how Anthony Albanese got to be the leader of the Labor Party and then the Prime Minister, by being a man from Labor's left who ended up outflanking Bill Shorten from the right.
It's just a jump to the left.
But the third and most important reason why Anthony Albanese has come from the left of politics to the centre of politics is the fact that he has become Prime Minister and that Labor is now in government. There's a favourite old saying of mine that all good governments look the same, that basically all of them end up being sensible, centrist, pragmatic government. The Labor government is going to find out very quickly it can't be as generous to people as people on the left might like. It's got a budget to think about. And this has led some people in the Labor Party to say that this is part of Labor's problem. They don't have a kind of left of their own party. And so that role ends up being outsourced to the Greens. And people on the left then look to the Greens more than Labor. So the greatest irony is that the left of the Labor Party has never been more powerful than it is now. Anthony Albanese, from the left, is the Prime Minister of the country. He runs the party. The National Conference, the National Executive, is run by the left. They've become all powerful, and yet at the same time, they've kind of wiped themselves out.